Phil, what do I do with my hands?
Put them down.
Okay.
Hey, we are at Genesee Valley Park in Rochester, New York for the second round of the Trek USCX series and Rochester Cyclocross. We have the women's elite race on tap. Bodie, what are we looking forward to?
I think we're looking to see if Magali Rochette can double up again like she did last weekend in Virginia, and what Manin, Mani, and McGill will do in response. Also, we have a few newcomers, Noble, Nuss, and Knoll, and see what they'll add to the mix.
All right, let's get to the race action.
All right, start of the race. We have 23 riders on the line. Getting the whole shot here in Rochester is Carolyn Manny. Gravel start, straight and wide, but still a little bit of a challenge in the first turn. In fact, we had a crash affecting Magali Rochette, who went down with Nico Knoll coming around the first bend of the course as the field heads towards the flyover and the planks for the first time. We're going to catch up with them back in the jungle, and Manon Backer has already gotten ahead of the field, taking advantage of Rochette not being there. Manise chasing along with McGill. We got Caitlin Walcroft out there as well, and there's Rochette sitting in 5th place and has some work to do to get back up with the leaders. Bacher already on the run-up as Rochette hasn't even made it down there yet. We got our other 3 chasers and Magali coming up behind. We're going to stay here just for a second so we can see the rest of the field chasing. We have the Comp Edge crew coming in there, followed by Ellen Noble from the Jam Fund. We're on the bike path for the first time, and you can see the gap already growing. Manenbacher says knows she has a good opportunity here and is taking advantage of it as she gets to Double Trouble for the first time. Double Trouble is a run-ride opportunity. Everybody was running on this step this year, coming around the first half of Double Trouble. They go over a canal path and then dump down to the second half of Double Trouble, which we'll see in a second here as Magali makes her way through. All right, here's the second half. This was real troublesome. Lots of decision making, run, ride decisions, high line, low line. You see Manin's able to take that high line successfully. Little stall for Sid McGill as she comes through. Rochette deciding just to run, which may be the smart move on this feature going forward. There's Walcroft, who is leading the chase. Head of her Comp Edge teammate, Raylan Nuss. Little issue coming down there to the bottom, followed by Ellen Noble taking the Nuss line and having not the best success as the rest of our women's field makes it around Double Trouble. Here is the stairs, and this signifies the end of the lap in Rochester. Usually a launching pad if it's a tight race. You want to get to the steps and make a move there and come around to the finish. McGill and Manny still chasing, with Walcroft and Rochette behind. That's your top 5 as we finish our first lap. Bacher really just in time trial mode here. She knows that the goal is just to keep Rochette at bay. Okay, here we are starting lap 2. This is a really tricky 180 right at pit 1. It's super dry out here, so the ground, even though it's dry, it's slick with all of the dust, and going through turns like this one can be dangerous, as we see Walcroft, and just like that. Thankfully, she's right at the pits. If anything's wrong with her bike, may as well go in there and change it and get back in and get onto this race. Here is our chase group. That is Mia DeMartin having a great race. She is leading the chasers with Lauren Zerner leading the Comp Edge group ride, along with Raylan Nuss in there as well. Up to the big U-turn on this hill. This climb is deceptive. It's really tough. The grade is super steep. Bacher's up and over. McGill still taking up the lead of the chase with Manny right on her wheel, and Rochette just slowly dragging them back in, trying to get back into that chase group. Here we are at the half pipe. Great feature as well. McGill coming through, Manny and Rochette. This is really tough. We don't see the beginning of it, but it's really tight, and it's an opportunity, if you can stay on your bike, to get a lead. Walcroft still going strong with Noble on her wheel, and Zerner right there. Mia Martin, Raylan Nuss. Back on the bike path, and McGill starting to stretch out the chase a little bit. Rochette goes by Mani, and here we are with Imana Bakker, and just kind of the same story out front. She is just crushing this race, just no worries at all. All she needs to do is keep mistake-free, and she's in a really good position, and we're only on the end of lap 2 here for this. McGill still out there. Rochette has now leapfrogged Mani, who's still sitting in 4th place, and this is a nice move here as they're fighting. Rochette coming inside to outside to make the pass on McGill as they come to the steps at the end of the lap. Mani dropping off a couple seconds behind. This looks like it's shaping up to be a good battle for 2nd and 3rd place between the Canadian pair of Rochette and McGill. Up and over the flyover, and we're going to get a good look at the planks here with 4 laps to go. Bakker just, again, I said it last lap, but I don't know, cruise control. That's kind of the phrase of the day for Imana Bakker in this race. Further back, Lauren Zerner, Raylan Nuss in a good battle. And here you see Rochette. It took her from lap 1 until now to finally make it to the front of this chase group and try to drive on to catch Imana Bakker out front. The dangler, the new dangler, Caroline Mani on the wheel there, keeping the chasers in view, but falling off a little bit. Bakker out front going towards the steps one more time. And we got 3 laps to go. And here are your chasers coming around that tricky 180 at pit 1. Rochette now in charge of the chase. It's still 3 laps to go, so don't think it's that time where you're thinking about 2nd, 3rd, and 4th versus trying to chase down the leader. I think they still have a hope of getting Bakker, but that hope is fading because she is at least 10 seconds ahead at this point. McGill now taking over once again, so maybe some infighting going on in this group. McGill and Rochette changing places, and Mani again just right there, just a couple seconds off. We go through the half pipe one more time. You can see all the dust coming up. The dry conditions just made it so dusty out there, which makes it easy to go down. This is the run up. We're seeing this is a difficult spot as well, not as difficult as it was a couple years ago. If you remember the mud race where it was impossible to get up that run up, but still a challenge even in these dry conditions. Here comes Nuss coming up, and she's still got Zerner right on her wheel. That's the battle for 5th place going on behind. Great battle between those two as McGill, again, just a second or 2 lead. I don't know if this is anything significant here. I think Rochette is probably able to close that back up when she wants, but maybe not, as Mani is able to get in front of Maghalie Rochette, and now she is going to move into that 3rd spot. So an interesting battle or cooperation or something going on in that chase to try to get back Bakker. Maybe at this point they are just fighting for those remaining podium spots. Coming to the end of the lap, again, it's McGill, Mani, and Rochette with Nuss and Zerner still just locked into a good battle. Final lap of the race, up and over for Bakker. Talking to her after the race, she did have some issues. She did crash into the barrier. She fell on the, her chain came off at one point, but she's still, relatively speaking, clean race. Here is Rochette making the nice move on that steep U-turn. Behind them, the battle that's going on between Nuss and Zerner continues. That is the fight for 5th place. C1 race today, so lots of points on the line. Points down to 15, but they're really heavily loaded at the front. So this is a really good race to score points on, and that's what Zerner and Nuss are really looking at. This is Raylan Nuss's first race. She wasn't in Roanoke last week. Here is Rochette coming down that bike path. She has separated herself from McGill and Mani. Really no chance to catch Bakker at this point, but just locking in 2nd place for her. McGill trying to chase her down as we are at Double Trouble Part 1 for the final time. Here is Part 2. Again, you can see all that dust coming out, just the light streaming through the the trees. A nice effect. It looks good with all that dust and light, but, I know it's not fun to race in. Rochette on the final accelerations as she heads to the backside of the course for the final time. Mani coming through the trees as well. That is going to really be your second, third, and fourth. And here is Mana Bakker just on a tear as she comes to the final moments of this race. Rochette also, this is pit 2 we're looking at, so they are a minute away from the finish. Sydney McGill comfortably in third, Amani in fourth. 1 lap to go. Final lap for Mana Bakker up and over the flyover. Just in complete cruise control. She's going to get through there cleanly. As we mentioned, what we didn't see the lap before that, she did have a little incident on that barrier, but it did not affect her race or her lead, able to recover and keep going. Second place, Rochette. Third is McGill. I may have been a little hasty in ending this race. They are on their final lap now. This is the battle been watching all day long between Nuss and Zerner. Still the same. Zerner just locked into that wheel. You can see it, just really being patient, looking for her opportunities, trying to take it to the line with Raylan Nuss. Up and around. Double trouble for this time. The final time is Mana Bakker making her way to the finish. We got Nuss and Zerner. This is really our highlighted pair that we've been watching. Best battle of the day out there for 5th place, with the other positions pretty secure up ahead. Second half of double trouble for that too. And here we go with Zerner and Nuss. This one is probably going to come down to the line. No probablities about this one. Mana Bakker able just to take her time in cruise control as she goes up the stairs for the final time. Rochette has closed that gap, but I think Bakker really knew she had the victory in hand, was able to take the foot off the pedal a little bit and enjoy this final lap. Mana Bakker, Rochester Cyclocross, day 1, your winner. She's been looking for this one in the USCX for a while and finally got it done. Great race for her. Rochette, disappointed with that crash in the beginning, but, was able to just keep fighting the whole time and put in a good race. McGill coming in for third. Here's your sprint for 5th that we were looking at. Lauren Zerner able to pip Nuss at the line. And there it is. That is your women's elite C1 race, Rochester Cyclocross, round 2 of the Trek USCX series.
How does it feel taking it here in Rochester?
Yeah, good. I had a shit start. I missed my pedals. But then they crashed in the first corner and then I was at the front and I thought sometimes you just gotta have big balls and just go for it. I knew Magli had to come back to the group, and then when you're in the group, it's hard to attack because you always have somebody in your wheel able to slow down on the straights. So I just thought, pace it, keep pushing and pace it hard on the straights because they will slow down a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like you were just pushing the whole time, keeping that nice, smooth, lead throughout the race, but it sounds like maybe a little trouble on that final lap.
Yeah, lap before that I crashed over the barriers. Stupid thing, happens too much. And then on the last lap on the run-up, my chain got stuck. And I got a little stressed because, I saw them coming and I was like, no, not today, not today. And then I heard I only had 10 seconds left and I was like sprinting to the finish. But I made it.
Yeah, awesome. So, you can check that off the list now. You can sort of relax and look forward to tomorrow.
Yes, looking forward for tomorrow and let's attack again.
Awesome.